80 years ago, a realistic radio drama had us believing that we were under attack from Martians. Now, augmented reality takes us inside the most dramatic weather events to see them as never before. I'm Tonya Hall for ZDNet and Tech Republic, and joining me is Mike Chesterfield. He is the Director of Weather Presentations at the Weather Channel. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
In 2015, the Weather Channel made waves with the introduction of a new immersive mixed reality technology, and you're using it today. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we've been exploring for different ways to tell weather stories, to really get away from showing a flat map and to immerse our talent into the weather itself. So a few years ago, we decided to turn towards AR as a method to enhance our storytelling. We started off walking, and now we're walking at a faster pace. We've now, with this, within the last 6 months, we have started using a new technology, or combination of technologies actually. We're now using the Unreal Engine, combined with MOSIS camera tracking to develop these amazing immersive experiences.
You mentioned the Unreal Engine. Gamers and game developers will certainly recognize that technology. Why did you choose this suite of creation tools?
Well, first of all, it's real time, which is provides us with huge advantages. We're also able to integrate or get our hooks into this technology and import data into it. The difficulty has always been to transition this great video game technology towards a broadcast technology. So we've partnered with a group called the Future Group out of Norway, who help us translate that great graphical elements and towards a broadcast story, I guess you could say.
With Hurricane Florence, you had the opportunity to illustrate storm surge, but you've illustrated many other weather features. Give us a rundown of those.
Yeah, so during the spring, for example, we actually took a tornado and we destroyed our studio with it. We had a virtual studio that we created that was really cool. We took a micro scan of the studio itself that duplicated the studio up to millimeter. And we used that to create this graphic that really the audience wouldn't be able to tell the difference between reality and non-reality. And so we swapped out during the recording. We swapped out to this fake studio, and we actually brought the tornado into the studio and destroyed it. The objective there was just to show what devastating power a tornado can have.
Are the mixed reality simulations broadcast live, or do you record those for playback?
Well, for the tornado one, for example, that one was a combination of live and recorded. A good chunk of it was actually live. One of our ultimate goals is to get to where we're broadcasting these things in a live format, so we can give folks the day-to-day weather, not just these unreal experiences, but actually do it live. So we decided to push the limits on the first one and do a good chunk of it live. This past one where we did the storm surge, it was not live, but it was a quick turn. In other words, we recorded it, and within 20 minutes, we had it live on our air.
You've dome lightning too. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we did the lightning explainer. That one was to, again, obviously, to explain the power of lightning. One of the most unpredictable aspects of weather is lightning, and it can strike anywhere. And a lot of times people don't get that danger. So we actually brought lightning down, hit a pole, exploded the pole into millions of pieces, and to show how hot and how dangerous lightning can be. Again, we did that in the studio as well, where we actually placed these objects into the studio as if they were real there. And it was difficult to really tell for our audiences that it wasn't real. In fact, we had comments from our audience like, how did you get lightning to strike in the studio? Which tells us we did our job as artists and as storytellers. We did our job.
What does the on-air meteorologist see and hear on set when the simulation is taking place? Are you using a green screen or?
Yes, so for this latest one, we are in a complete green screen environment. We try to give them as much as several monitors to look at to monitor their position. It is difficult. It is not the easiest thing in the world for the on-camera meteorologist to do, because really you're speaking to nothing, where there's this graphic there. To them, it's just they're in this green environment. So we provide them with as much clues as possible so they can reference things without pointing to the wrong things. But it does take a certain amount of talent and the skill, and it took a few runs to get through this thing. But we were able to hit the goal, and we were actually able to I think, do a pretty good story.
So what's next for this technology? What other use cases do you anticipate?
Yeah, this is where it gets really exciting, actually. Our next goals, we'll be releasing a wildfire one probably in October to time at the peak of the wildfire season. Beyond that, we want to build a virtual studio and get to a point where we're actually integrating our day-to-day weather products into this Unreal environment. And that's where it gets really interesting for us, because we will be able to use instead of, again, standing at a flat map, we'll be able to use this technology almost on a daily basis. Ultimately, our goal is by 2020 to be broadcasting in AR or IMR, whatever you want to call it, 80% of the time. So no longer will you be seeing somebody just standing up there against a flat map. We want to actually truly immerse our OCMs or on-camera meteorologists into these environments. Imagine being able to tell somebody what the weather forecast is going to be with a future time lapse. That's kind of the North Star. So when they go outside, they'll say, oh, I saw this on the Weather Channel a couple hours ago.
Okay, Mike, space weather one day?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Space weather? Or can we expect space weather one day?
Oh yeah, the possibilities are endless. You name it, a phenomena will be able to attack it. Everything from earthquakes, wildfires, space weather. We'll bring it to the audience in an interesting way. I'm really, like I said, this really takes any cap that we had on our ability to tell stories away. I mean, there is no limits.
Now, you're not just an amazing graphics guy. You're also a degreed meteorologist, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So how do you personally feel about being able to share the weather news and weather story with this futuristic technology?
Yeah, so honestly, I've been in weather presentation for over 20 years now, and I've seen it from the infancy where we were using literally, chalkboards to now these high-end computer graphics with the best video cards possible, where we're able to really, again, immerse our talent into these environments. And a couple years ago, we started talking about what if we could use this gaming technology to build our graphics. And at the time, it seemed like a pipe dream, but we're there now, and it's incredibly exciting. And I don't know if you've seen the surge effects that released during Florence. Many people out there probably have, and if you haven't, go check it out. But it really hit the goal of being able to inform the audience of the dangers of storm surge, and also just grab people's attention, which ultimately was our goal. And I think it worked. So like I said, we can't wait to see where we can take it in the future.
From War of the Worlds weather reporting to literally putting us inside the storm. Mike Chesterfield, Director of Weather Presentation at the Weather Channel, thank you so much for joining me to talk about the future of weather reporting and what's happening today. If somebody wants to connect with you, maybe they want to find out more about your work. How can they do that?
Yeah, they can reach me on LinkedIn. It says I'm Chesterfield, or they can reach me on Twitter at mchesterfield26.
All right. Thanks again so much. And if you guys want to find more of my interviews, you can do that right here on ZDNet or Tech Republic, or maybe go to my website, tonyahall.net. I've got links to all my social sites. Thanks for watching.